this right here, yeah, it might not seem like a lot, but this took a couple of weeks to do. Yo, what's good in the web? This is your man Q back again, and today we in the lab. Hope I didn't interrupt your normally scheduled geekly type programming that you were just so dying to watch. But we still talking about JRPGs. Actually, more like ARPGs is what I like to call them, or Afro RPGs. You get it? Even though I ain't got no hair no more. I did a poll, I want to say like a week and some change ago, and asked y'all, would you mind seeing some of my game development that I do over on Twitch, but here in like a new format, but basically the same thing? And the poll was pretty damn close. It was split equal, with 40% of y'all saying, yeah, you want to see something, and 40% with a maybe, it's your channel. And the remaining 20% saying, stick to AAA titles, Q. So I decided that, you know, I wanted to showcase some of my work, tips, and tricks. You know, some of the things I've picked up while developing this game, codename Beyond Fantasy. And here we are, in the lab. Which, if you guys like the content that you see here on this game development, I mean, you can follow me over on Twitch at The Geek Show as well. I make videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 7 p.m. PST time, around that time, you know. RPG, ARPG discussion topics, and of course, game development. Long story short, at the end of last year, I decided that it was finally time to start my own game, and a homie put me up on this new program called Bakin RPG Developer, which is the part 2 of Smile Game Builder that dropped back in 2016. And just my luck during the holiday season, if you bought Bakken on Steam, you got its predecessor Smile Game Builder for just $2 more than Bakken alone, since Bakken was on the sale at that time too. So I got two massively huge programs for $67 instead of like $65 just for one. So, I mean, what do you think I did? So what is Bakken, you ask? Well, just imagine if RPG Maker had a baby with 3D and boom, well, that's Bakken. Bakken dropped last October, so there's really still not a lot of tutorials or things on it. So you kinda gotta, you know, find your own way around things. But what really drew me to the program was the fact that instead of coding, you use something called variables and event switches, which many of you guys who are probably familiar with RPG Maker MZ, RPG Maker MV, you are already on that path. So it's kind of like a little bit of coding, but then it's not really. There is a little light coding that you can input into the game, as well as the ability to upload 3D renders and models from both Unity and Blender, which I plan to do for my characters, which I'm not on that level yet. But back to the ship. This may seem easy peasy, fresh and squeezy, but the program being new, and me not really knowing what to do just yet, let's just say, made it an interesting development to learn new variables and get the game the way I actually wanted to get the game. Basically, what I wanted to do was to make the game like an old Lufia game, for those of y'all who remember Lufia, where you're on a world map and then you press the talk button and it toggles you into the ship. Or what I had to do here on Bakken is make myself the actual ship and then make the party disappear, and I'm able to float on the water. Easy it sounds, but not as much as you might think. I also wanted to do something that one of my favorite games has, and that is the whole Skies of Arcadia battle system, where not just the actual battles with the boats, the ships, that's coming down the pipeline, but the battles where you're actually fighting on the ship, and you'll see. Like this. That's what I wanted to do. So how I was able to do this is I went and made a separate map, which I call ship. And then on that separate map, what I did was I built up the terrain to the depth and width of the ship's sizing that I wanted to use. And I also got the ship from Smile Game Builder's resources, because they don't have one for Bakken yet, but that's cool. The things work hand in hand together. So that way the characters won't fall directly into the ocean, because that did happen a lot, that the characters, the avatars, were stuck on the water and they weren't standing on top of the ship like I wanted to. And I haven't figured out how to make certain parts of the ship or items or objects to be where you can stand on them, other than making it an invisible event, which makes me have to do two things, like make an invisible boat and then put it on top. But now I'm getting confused, and so scratch that. So the whole goal was to give the illusion that I'm actually fighting on the ship. I will eventually probably do some time attacks and some other goodies where maybe I can rotate the camera and even make an action battle system. But for now, this is at least the most part that I wanted, I wanted to get it. I was also able to make the ship idle while doing the battle. And if you hear right here, I was able to make the sound of water, which is actually just like the wind, but not really water. That I'll fix eventually. I'll probably go back and make like a actual like tutorial for doing the ship and everything once I knock all the quirks and everything that I really wanted to do with it, as in making the clouds and stuff around each particular 100 square block piece and then connecting those ends into things. And probably when I fix the scaling issue, because right now I'm trying to figure out how, when I turn to a new map, to keep the same scaling over from the previous map and keep basically all the same thing, like the character stats and everything transfer over. But for those of y'all who come for the AAA JRPG titles, don't worry, I will be doing that primarily still here on the channel. I did, however, want to create like a playlist and then show you guys some of the work that I have been doing over on Twitch for my own personal game, because really that was the main rhyme and reason that I decided to start streaming and making content here on YouTube, to show my game creation. And when I do drop a game and a demo and or trailers and stuff, y'all will know, and it won't just be like boom out of the blue. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself seeing some of this new program, Bakken. I know I've enjoyed Bakken. That's why I haven't even picked up Forspoken yet, or unsheathed my damn Fire Emblem Engage, or beat Final Fantasy Crisis Core, because, well, I've been knee deep in game development. Like, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying. But that's all I have for you today, interweb. If you did like this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date not only with my own personal ARPGs, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do talk about JRPGs all the time. I always got some kind of RPG video here Monday through Friday, and we working on Saturdays, so keep a lookout for the return of the archives. And as always in the web, remember to eat, sleep, geek, repeat. I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace. The longest time I wasn't being legit or for real with myself either, because that was a part of me. And even though I was doing it in secret, and then it just hit me.
And that's when it hit me. And that's when I became a geek. Finally, the sleeper has awakened. I am the prince of all geeks once again.